hasn't gone by yet.
Yes, put this on YouTube
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
and have the title, The Natives Are Restless.
Hey, I like that one.
We're here on behalf of the oil exploration that's presently going to take place in the watershed, which we are fundamentally against because it's not, as we feel, environmentally or economically sound for the area. And in regards to the industrial approval, we have found glaring errors, misrepresentations, and missing information in it. And on that point, we would like you to withdraw the approval, rescind it, make it null and void, and to evoke your ministerial privileges and call for a full environmental impact study and climate change study on any oil, gas, or production exploration in the Lake Ainslie watershed.
All right. Well, thank you. But anyway, I'll take this and I'll
I have highlighted the some of the more important points. One of the points in there is your staff has a wetland being fed by a river that actually drains the river. They have ignored the fact that there is a stream that runs between the two boundaries, which is less than 30 meters from the site, which is supposed to be 100 meters. And there are parameters and data missing in there. And we feel all that missing information could lead to violations by the permit holder, causing environmental danger.
I appreciate you bringing this to my attention, and I'll take it back under consideration, and I'll review it with my staff and members of our Department of Environment, and we'll respond to your request in the appropriate time. But I can show you that we've listened to the public, the people in that community, and we understand your concerns. First of all, I want to know that we understand your concerns about the watershed and the environment, and I can tell you that that is our utmost importance to protecting that, not only in that general area, but for all Nova Scotians. And we take our job very seriously, and that there is approval. It's met, it's been scrutinized by our department, and has followed all the appropriate channels, and the approval has been granted. I'll take your request into consideration, and I'll return to my office and for our people to evaluate your concerns. So, and I appreciate your openness and an opportunity to present your concerns here today. And I know that we're in a public setting where we have another function going on, and I appreciate how you're dealing with this in a very professional and civilized manner. So
it wasn't our intention to disrupt their
no,
event.
and I really appreciate
trying to
that.
get hold of anybody in power these days is very difficult. So
well, our doors are all open.
They're open, but to find you inside of them is very difficult at times.
Well,
and you do have a lot of people below you that do fend off.
But I've been paying attention, and our department has, and we have made a decision on the permits there, and I have the greatest respect for our department, and in a way I appreciate your concerns. I'll take this information back and consider it under the advice of our...
So why would you hand out a permit right on the Margaree Lake Ainslie, which feeds the Margaree River?
Well,
it's one of the most important salmon rivers.
Without getting into details, but I can tell you that there's been there's been a thorough discretion or scrutinize of this permit. I can assure you that all the the proper channels has been followed. I want to point out that we appreciate the importance of the water table and the environment, and we take that in considerations, and all the conditions of the approval are there to protect water tables and the environment, and we're confident that the decision was made in the protection of the public.
That's a lie.
You
did not consult with the Mi'kmaq of Unama'ki. Not for 1 second did you consult our people in any manner, dear sir, my good friend. So what you're saying is based upon a false hypothesis. Because before any type of agreements, before any type of exploration, before any type of testing, before even discussions of this nature, we must be fully consulted and completely informed and must be able to provide free and informed consent. My dear friend, my dear friend, you failed to do that prior to issuing Petroworth their license. So therefore, you're talking to me today and your constituents with a forked tongue.
Well, madam, with all due respect, I can assure you the issues that you have raised, we have took that into consideration. We have did the due diligence on this project.
Due diligence?
We have talked with the Mi'kmaq community.
I'm afraid not, sir.
No, you didn't.
Where's your proof of that?
You talked to one person,
Well,
and that was
Where's
the
your proof?
ex-chief.
Provide your proof, sir. Where were these meetings held? At a duly convened community meeting?
there was discussions held. Listen, I'll be very polite. I'm trying to be polite as possible here. I listened to you talk, and I'm trying to give you an answer.
Okay,
and
sir.
What I'm saying is the permit, the regulatory channels has been followed. The permit has been issued, and we have followed the proper procedures.
Illegally.
I know that you have concerns, and I appreciate that. We live in a society where we can share different opinions at times, and
This
we
is
are
not
here,
opinion, sir. This is the law.
We're here to listen. I took this gentleman's request, and I'm going to take it back to our staff and evaluate it.
I have a
and
request as well.
move forward. But
Would you like to take my sign to
just
your
in fairness,
office too?
and I'm not trying to be abrupt. I'm not trying to be rude. I asked, the question was asked for me to come meet with your group.
Yes.
I asked that we could do this before or after the presentation. We were here to come to talk about agriculture project in this community. This is dubbed as a family day.
And we're family.
Just let me, can I just finish my point? And I asked that we could either do this before the procedure timing starts at roughly 1 o'clock, and we would not be interrupted at that time frame. I asked you to
From 1 till on
Excuse
what
me.
time?
appreciate
I
that,
just want
and we
to
are trying
present
to
one letter
deal with it.
before time. I represent the Inverness chapter of the Council of Canadians, and
Yes.
we have a petition and a letter here I'm going to present to you now. And on the back are some risks associated with oil and gas development, noise and light pollution, potential use of millions of gallons of fresh local water, toxic chemicals that are stored on site, cancer-causing agents, as well as nerve and hormone disruptors of both people and animal, potential drinking water contamination, accidents and spills could be catastrophic to the lake and the greater Margaree River system, and air pollution, and it is not clean energy, and we really urge all levels of government to stop passing the buck into future generations and to do something now, because now will never come if we don't take that step. We have to do it now. Everybody's saying year after year we're going to do something. Well, that never happens, so let's do it now.
Yay! We'll pray for you.
I have another question for you, sir. When the leaders of Canada, across Canada, when they go corrupt, who do they answer to? Could you answer that, me, please? When you ruin our waters, you're ruining our children. Who are you going to answer to?
Can we move into your place?
Yeah, can we go to your
Can I answer
village?
your question? What you're talking about, some of the industries you're talking about here is fracking industry. The fracking industry is under review. Our staff, along with a number of our neighboring departments, are visiting and reviewing other jurisdictions dealing with this topic of fracking. There is a report that's going to be finalized sometime in early spring of 2012. It is under review, and we are going to report or make our comments to Nova Scotians.
We'd like
That's
the
what
government to
that's
support the people and not industry.
Well,
We're asking Dexter
It's
to
only
be
a
the
few
NDP
jobs.
that he promised.
The jobs
he'd
are
be.
already given out to other people.
But in fairness, ma'am, this particular industry that you're talking about, fracking industry, is under review. And we're going to do a thorough
Well, it's drilling next to Lake Ainslie is the issue, not
You issued a
fracking.
license this week, sir,
2012.
to oil drill.
Excuse me.
Not to get into a confrontational or discussion here, we have a time frame, and I said
Okay,
this
like when-
going into
Okay,
this.
one question here.
Just
One
let
quick.
me finish my point.
No, one quick question. When I was up the residential school, a small little girl, guess what? We weren't allowed to drink water. That is genocide. We were not allowed to drink water. What's going to happen here? We're not going to be able to drink water here.
Okay.
Where can
I'm
we
gonna
meet, dear sir?
I have I've listened to your concerns. I appreciated that we could do this before the opening of the agriculture picnic. The agriculture picnic theme is talking about the families, and I asked you to come over and listen to my remarks, and we
have
are
families,
going
that's why
to
we're
that
here.
podium, and we're going to open it in the official manner. And I
Where can we
appreciate your
meet, sir?
comments, and we will take your comments back to our staff.
Can I ask you a question?
Got it screaming out.
I think it's rather ironic that you're affecting the water, and that's where the aquaculture is based.
Our province has an international reputation for developing high-quality seafoods. Aquaculture certainly is adding to this reputation and to the range of products that we have offered to the world.